Welcome. I'm pleased and honored to have the opportunity to meet with President Zelensky and my Nordic colleagues today at this very symbolic place, Þingvellir, which we hold very close to our hearts. In Iceland, it has a very symbolic meaning to come together at a place where our national identity was formed, a place which we directly relate to our democracy and freedom and our independence. The Republic was established here 80 years ago, and we celebrate that this year, 80 years of the establishment of Republic of Iceland. So today we've had the opportunity to exchange views on the current situation in Ukraine. We've had a very fruitful meeting, a productive one. This is the 4th summit, and we will now give the opportunity for the press to ask the President and the Prime Ministers of the Nordic countries about where we stand at the moment. But before that, I want to give the floor to the Prime Minister of Sweden. Ulf, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Bjarni. It's a pleasure to be back here in Iceland. And dear Volodymyr, good to see you in this group of prime ministers again. This year, Sweden holds the presidency for both the Nordic N5 and the Nordic-Baltic NB8 formats. And the global situation highlights the need for Nordic and Nordic-Baltic cooperation in the field of foreign and security policy. Since March the 7th this year, all Nordic and all Baltic countries are NATO allies as well, which actually marks a quite significant change for the security in our region, making us all safer and improving the preconditions for deepened defense cooperation, not least in regards of Ukraine. We work jointly to strengthen international support for Ukraine and the rules-based international order. Together, the 8 Nordic-Baltic countries are the largest supporters of Ukraine in military equipment terms after the United States. When it comes to you supporting Ukraine, Europe needs to further step up its political, its military, its economic and its humanitarian support. And I think it's fair to say that the Nordic countries continue to lead by example. In Stockholm this May, we all signed bilateral agreements on security cooperations with Ukraine. And during the NB8 foreign ministers meeting in Sweden, a Nordic-Baltic high-level group was launched to support Ukraine's EU accession efforts. This group now serves as a strategic partner to the Ukrainian government in its EU accession process. Last week, Sweden decided to join the Danish initiative to support procurement of artillery systems produced in Ukraine with some 20 million euros to help boost Ukraine's own defense industrial base. And 2 days ago, we contributed with another 9.6 million euros in humanitarian aid in the view of the upcoming winter for safe access to heat, electricity, food, water and healthcare. On top of that, I'm proud to today announce that Sweden will allocate financial funds of another 43 million euros to several established multilateral initiatives, which may include the Ukraine Defense Contact Group Capacity Coalition. This is an efficient and a very fast way of supporting Ukraine's armed forces together. With these donations, Sweden would support the procurement of air-to-air missiles, for example, for the Ukrainian F-16 program, support the maritime training of Ukrainian marine infantry battalions, and take part in the coming procurement of demining equipments. Finally, Ukraine is bravely fighting for its own freedom, but they are also defending European and Nordic freedom. This deserves to be stressed again and again. we will stand firmly behind Ukraine for as long as it takes. Back to you, Bjarni.
Thank you. And President Zelensky, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. Dear Prime Ministers, members of delegations, dear journalists, dear friends. Today we held the fourth Ukraine-Nordic Country Summit, and each of these very important meetings has become more productive, and I hope that very soon we will be able to hold such a summit in Kyiv, and you are all invited, of course. First, I want to thank you and your nations for supporting Ukraine and our people throughout the years of full-scale war. I'm grateful to Iceland and Prime Minister for organizing this summit and for Iceland's firm commitment to international law. We appreciate the support you have provided. Thank you to Denmark and to you, Mette, and the Danish people for your vital defense support and leadership in projects like investing in weapons production in Ukraine. Your determination have created a special model for investments in our defense production, which we are sharing with other partners. And today, all the partners confirmed their readiness to follow Danish model. Ukraine is grateful for all the support from Finland, and especially the recent defense package and its involvement in initiatives like the Shelter Coalition, and I encourage other nations to join this special effort. Recently, Finland hosted a conference on the peace formula point focused on protecting the environment from the impact of this war. Over 60 countries and organizations took part, by the way, and I thank Finland for organizing this event. I want to thank Sweden for defense support, for helping protect our people, and especially for assistance in preparing for winter, which is crucial under constant Russian attacks on our energy sector. And thank you very much, Prime Minister, for these packages that you announced. And to Norway, I want to thank, and to all Norwegians, thank you for all the weapons that protect our people and our independence, of course, for the air defense and the maritime dimension help, and for the long-term financial support, which sets an example for many others. Thanks to you for today readiness to strengthen more in energy, and today we agreed on Nordic support for the Victory Plan, thanks to all the partners which have presented to key partners. This plan can push Russia toward peace if it's implemented. Unfortunately, there is a lot of disinformation about the Victory Plan. Some misleading messages come not only from Russia, but also from those in partner countries who hesitate to take strong action against Russia. And they call the plan unrealistic, some of them, but this is just an outsized fear of Russia, not the reality. Our Nordic partners, however, remain resolute, and this is crucial for all of Europe. We also discussed additional needs in air defense and suggested ways to strengthen Ukraine's air shield with Patriot system. And I also explained how inviting Ukraine to join NATO would strengthen our common position and show Russia that peace has no alternative. Thank you so much. Slava Ukraini.
Thank you, President. Now I give the floor to Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen.
Thank you, Bjarni, and thank you, Volodymyr, for being here today among close friends that share the wish for Ukraine to win this war. Friends that fully support your victory plan and agree to be at the forefront of support for Ukraine. And agree that Ukraine belongs to NATO with us, like we all agreed in Washington this summer. Recent reports on involvement of North Korean soldiers in the war is of great concern. And it just shows that this war is not just about Ukraine. The increasingly close relationship between Russia North Korea and Iran is of grave concern also, of course, for global security. And we need to face reality. I don't think Russia could be able to have a full-scale war in Europe for more than 2.5 years without help from China. So, of course, what we have discussed today is about the situation on the battlefield and your way in the future in NATO. But for all of us, we have to recognize that the whole security situation is completely new. And therefore, the future of Europe depends on the outcome of this war, on us, all of us, taking a stand, showing that we are ready to defend